So what have we here? It is a delivery of some Kickstarted stuff. This is the Cool Mini or Not basing system by Micro Art Studios. Complicated name. And I'll try to unpack what that means. I'm not going to unpack all of these bags and show you the contents of all of them. It's just way too many. But I will show you a few of them and talk some more about this. So here I've unpacked a few of these bases. They come in 3 sizes, 30, 40, and 50 mil. If you're talking these kinds of lip bases, you can use the 30 mils as 25 mils. If you don't, the idea is you insert them like this. Yep. If you want to use this kind of lip base. If not, you can kind of glue this onto a normal 25 mil base or just use it as is. Apart from the modularity of this, it also has the advantage that you can paint it before inserting it, which means you don't splash a lot of paint on the rim and you don't need to paint it black again. Saves a small amount of time. Anyway, let's unwrap what these are. These are the reason Micro Art Studios name appears in the title is that they're the company that makes these. These are the exact same sculpts that they've been using for their resin bases for quite a long time. Where does Cool Mini or Not come in? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if they're just doing distribution or if they've helped fund it. I mean, over and above the Kickstarter money, or what's going on. But what these are the same sculpts, but in a different material. This is not resin, this is a plastic. I'm not sure exactly what kind of plastic it is. It's not polyurethane. It's not the rock hard plastic that, for example, GW Minis are made of. But it's not PVC either. It's not the extremely soft bendy stuff that Reaper Bones are made of. It's somewhere in between. And you can tell, I don't know if you can tell, but on some of them, the bottom here is slightly, very, very slightly warped. This does not matter. They all lay flat on any kind of surface. And if you put them in one of these lip things, I haven't brought out the 50 mil, they'll be fine. The question is the detail any good? Now, I don't have these exact same bases in resin to compare with, unfortunately. I have looked at other Micro Art Studios bases. I mean, in some of my previous videos, you've seen me use them for various projects. And my estimation is that the detail is, if not as razor sharp as you would get from resin. There's a few soft edges, but honestly, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but for example, the little leaves lying on this base, they're perfectly sculpted, and you know, it's for something that's not going to be a focal point anyway. It's just a base. This is great. Now, you can of course criticize some bases such as this one for being a bit busy. I mean, where would a miniature actually stand on this? But you know, that's the way it's sculpted, and it's been that way for years. I mean, the resin bases were the same. So it's not a new complaint. And I mean, you can probably find a way to fix it. So what's the advantage of plastic over resin? Well, presumably one of cost. I don't know yet what this will cost at street price, but the Kickstarter cost was pretty low. And I assume the retail price will be lower than resin, because otherwise why bother? When will they be available to the public? Again, I don't know. I read a rumor that said August 1st this year would be the street date. That seems reasonable because we're now at the end of June, early July, and Kickstarters have started getting their stuff. So having a month before everybody can get it seems reasonable. I mean, they probably need to get stock in. Like all Kickstarters, this was delayed somewhat by the fact they produced these in China and have to ship them over here by a slow boat. So, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Let's paint up a couple of them and see what they look like. And here we can see what they look like all painted up. I've put them in the bases just to show you what they look like. They're not glued in yet because I will attach them to miniatures before I do that. It's not by accident that I picked out these three in particular, by the way. I have models in mind that I'm going to use them for. But as you can see, they turned out pretty nice. There is one thing I noticed about them that I don't quite understand, and it's in the varnishing stage. I might have mentioned before that I always automatically start off with this gloss spray varnish on everything because that protects better, and then I put matte on top of the gloss to kill the shine. With these, I had to do like 3 or 4 coats of matte varnish to dull them down again. The shine kept peeking through, and there's still in some corners where you can slightly see a little bit of shine to them. So I'm gonna have to remember that and go straight for the matte in the future. I mean, bases don't need that much protection because a base, once you put a miniature on there, you're not going to be touching the base. The base is not going to be rubbing against anything else. So you could probably go straight to the matte varnish with these. So, do I recommend them? Well, that will depend on the final pricing. I mean, if they are substantially cheaper than resin, and I can't see why they wouldn't be, then they will definitely be a very solid option for you. I'm sorry I can't be more exact than that yet, but in about a month's time you will perhaps be able to pick them up yourself and see. That will be all for this review, so until next video, Dakion is signing off.